Everybody, Loader for Life here, bringing us a brand new deck profile. This time around, we got one that I wanted to bring you guys so much long ago, but school's been getting in the way of everything. Nordics with Metaphys, because there's not enough good Nordic stuff anymore. I miss being able to play pure Nordics and actually have fun, but however, they just can't keep up with modern Yu-Gi-Oh! So I had to mix them with something. And with the new Link monster, they can be mixed perfectly with Metaphys. Also Thunder Dragons to an extent, but I'm not rich. I don't have money for Thunder Dragons. Also, I'll be honest, I've tested the Thunder Dragon build online, and I'm not as much of a fan of it as I am the Metaphys build, because a lot of the Thunder Dragons effects happen right when they are banished, and Golvig prevents that from happening pretty much. So I would much rather use the Metaphys cards, which can, well, just keep cycling. And anyways, getting off topic, but yeah, I do like the Metaphys build a lot more. I've seen a lot of people say that the Thunder Dragon build is better, and I can see why, because, you know, if you have a Super Bowl out, that thing is stupid, or whatever the effect, whatever the name is now, I can't remember. Was it Colossus or Titan? It's one of those two. But however, Nordics are one of my favorite decks. Heck, if you go onto my channel and you look like at the top videos of my channel, one of them is my first ever deck profile. Mine, okay? It's actually technically the second deck profile on the channel, but that was the first deck profile was a friend of mine's, and second one was mine. And I've stuck with Nordics through thick and thin. I took a break from playing them for a few years after Pendulums came out, because the deck just could not keep up with anymore. And I love the deck so much. I really hope that Konami follows the pattern that they might have set up with the Neo stuff and gives the deck more support in the Dark Neostorm set. You know, that'll be 2 sets after the TCG exclusive stuff, just like with the 2 sets after the TCG exclusive Neo stuff. And I'm hoping they continue with that, because this deck isn't entirely in need of more support. It's on life alert practically, and I love it. It's one of my favorite archetypes. It has so much cool stuff. And I'm just gonna stop gushing, because I could talk about this for 10 minutes and probably will make a video on that. But let's get on to the deck profile of Nordic Metaphys. One of my most fun favorite decks. That is just a fun deck. It's nothing tournament competitive. I wouldn't take this even to our locals at anymore, especially with Danger FTK and stuff running around. Maybe in a slower format you could take it to our locals, but I would just recommend playing this with friends as fun, because in fun duels it's fun, but it's not so much fun getting destroyed before you even get a chance to play. So yeah. Moving on, we got triple Metaphys Ragnarok. He's one of the main starter cards for Metaphys, and he is just really rock solid. You normal summon him, banish the top 3 cards of your deck, and he gains 300 attack for every banished Metaphys card. And also, if he does battle damage, you can summon any of your level 5 or higher Metaphys monsters from your deck for free, but banish it during the end phase of the next turn. And he's a level 4 tuner too, so that's just like a cherry on top. He's such a good card. Moving on, we got 2 Metaphys Tyrant Dragon. If he's banished during the following standby phase, you can shuffle him from your banished zone to the deck, and then special summon any Metaphys monster from your hand. Pretty good. And then if he's special summoned from a Metaphys monster's effect, he gets the bonus effect of being unaffected by trap cards and getting 2 attacks in turn. Pretty cool. 2 Metaphys Daedalus. And if he's banished by anything, and during your next standby phase, you get shuffle him back from your banish zone into your deck, and then banish any Metaphys card after that. And if he is special summoned by the effect of a Metaphys monster, banish all other special summoned monsters on the field that are not Metaphys cards. You gotta be careful when you do that, because as good as the effect it is in pure Metaphys, you can accidentally banish your own Azirs, and you don't want to do that. Moving on, we got 2 Metaphys Nephthys. Metaphys Nephthys, she's a search card. During the standby phase, after she was banished, you can shuffle her from your banish zone to your deck, search out any Metaphys card except for herself, and then if it is special summoned by the effect of a Metaphys card, banish all set spell or trap cards, or I believe is it all set or all spell or trap cards? Banish all set spell and trap cards on the field. Yeah, that's pretty good overall. So yeah, moving on, we got 2 Metaphys Decoy Dragon. He has the exact same effect depending on if he's in a monster zone or, well, he has the exact same pendulum effect and banished monster effect. So if a monster you control is targeted for an attack, you can target one of your banished Metaphys cards, banished Metaphys monsters or Metaphys monsters in your graveyard. special summon it in attack mode, and then banish it. And if he is banished during the next standby phase, you can special summon him. That's a hard once per turn, so if you have multiple of the little dudes in your banish zone, you're not getting all 3 effects. Or all 2 effects. Now finally, on to the Nordic stuff. Okay, I had to get the Metaphys stuff out of the way because in order to get to that, we got to get to the Nordic stuff. Now, the really cool thing with the Nordic stuff is that because of the Link 1, any of your Nordic monsters is an immediate playmaker. Okay, so the Link 1, for those who don't know, it just needs any level 5 or lower Nordic monster to be Link summoned into, points to the bottom left. And whenever it's Link summoned, you can banish up to 3 cards from your hand or field. Special summon up to 3 I almost called it Nordics. I mean, I almost said Noble Knights, but anyways. Up to 3 Nordics from your deck. You cannot normal summon for the rest of this turn, and you cannot special summon monsters except for Azir monsters. So what you do is any of your Nordics turns into her. You banish 3 of your Metaphys cards preferably, and then you get 3 Nordics for free, and it's such a good card. Also, on top of that, while she's pointing to an Azir, the Azir is untargetable by card effects, and she cannot be targeted by battle. So really, really good card overall. I think the monster also can't be also, your opponent cannot okay, so yeah, I thought it also protected it from card effects, but oh well, never mind. So moving on. 2 gold effects of the Nordic Beast. He's a Cyber Dragon if your opponent controls a Synchro, like that'll ever happen again. Moving on, he's also a tuner. He's the only Nordic Beast tuner though, so it's kind of important if we do at least play 1 to 2 of them. 2 Nordic, Alsef of the Nordic Alfar, or Alfar, I keep getting it switched around. Alsef is, Alvis. Why did I get Alsef from? Alvis is a really, really good card. He's one of the newer cards. You can really get the feeling that Konami was trying to fix the deck with this card and YgoAmino, because this dude is made directly to work with YgoAmino. So if he is the only monster banished by YgoAmino's effect, well, any Nordic Link monster's effect, which implies we'll get more, but right now it's just YgoAmino, you can send 1 Nordic you control to the graveyard and 2 Nordics from your deck to the graveyard, all with levels. Special summon 1 Azir monster from your extra deck, ignoring its summoning conditions, onto your field with a level equal to the number, well, the level of the monsters you banished, or I think, wait, did it banish or send? So yeah, send for that. And then if he's in the graveyard and he is, and one of your Azirs is destroyed, you can banish him from your graveyard, special summon 1 of your Azirs from your extra deck for free, ignoring summoning conditions. But that effect is a hard once per duel. So he's a really good card. Main thing is that I use him for is his graveyard effect, because you want to banish your Metaphys cards. So you banish your Metaphys cards off YgoAmino, get their effects during the next turn, so you don't have to worry about the restrictions on it. And also, his graveyard effect is just better. My biggest issue with all of this in general is the fact that he special summons them. It's not treated as a synchro summon. So your Azirs, when they do die, they don't get the best part about their effects is that they come back during the end phase. So you don't get that. And that really bugs me, because that would be so good if it treated it as a synchro summon, because it'd be a free Azir, literally. But you know it's not. Anyways, moving on. 2 Lygelsoft of the Nordic Alfar, Alfar. I don't know why I keep switching that. Anyway, so Lygelsoft is one of the other really good Nordics, at least. Whenever you normal summon him, you can target 1 other monster you control, special summon a Nordic with attack lower than that monster from your hand. Pretty cool card. The big thing is that he's one of the really good level 4 non-tuner Nordic monsters. Then, speaking of a really good level 4 tuner monster, Vanitas of the Nordic Ascendant. She is a dark level 4 tuner monster. If you use her for a synchro summon, all other monsters must be Nordic monsters, which is a bit annoying and always kind of really prevented mixed builds of this deck from really succeeding with her. And also running Odin, but oh well. And then once per turn, you can send any of your Nordic monsters from your deck to the graveyard. Her level becomes that monster's level until the end of the turn. And then if you're using her for a synchro summon of an Azir monster, she can be treated as any of their requirements. So Odin needs an Ascendant, which she already is. Loki needs an Alfar, which she can become, and so can she become a beast for Thor. So really good card overall. I only play 2 of her in the mixed build here because, well, you only really need 2 and 3 is a bit much. Hopefully one day though we can play the pure build once again. Well, then we got the White Goat, good old Tengrisnir of the Nordic Beast. Back in the day, he was one of the best monsters in the deck, because if he's destroyed by battle, he can summon 2 tokens that are level 4. Sorry, are they level 4 or level 3? Level 3! Sorry, I got that mixed up. Level 3 tokens onto your field. So, using that in combination with Goldfax or Vanitas, that's an instant Azir monster, or with one of the other tuners, like for instance Valkyrie, that's a level 8. So really good effect back in the day. It's a bit slow nowadays. The reason why I'm still playing him is because we need all the Nordic names as we can, and also he's still one of the better non-tuner Nordics. Alongside him is the Black Goat Tanjastir of the Nordic Beast, who is made to directly work with Tengrisnir. When a monster you control is destroyed by battle, you can summon Tanjastir from your hand. Pretty cool right there. And then if you switch from defense to attack position, you can summon any Nordic Beast from your deck, except himself. So really, really good effect there. He summons himself in defense off of his effect. Really, really good effect overall. And heck, Tanjastir is probably going to be the Nordic Beast that really like stands the test of time compared to the other Nordic Beasts. Then for the final Nordic Ascendant tuner is good old Valkyrie of the Nordic Ascendant. Her effect is literally irrelevant nowadays. If she's normal summon and control no cards other than herself, and your opponent has a monster, you can banish 2 Nordics in your hand to summon 2 Ethanjar. Einherjar, I can't pronounce that, and I've heard it pronounced right 50 million times playing Valkyrie profile. Ehrenhar, Eithanjar, whatever, tokens that are level 4. The big thing is that right now, at least, there's nothing really all that great to banish in the deck as like in terms of the actual stuff. If Alvis got its effect off being banished in general, that'd be a really good step in the right direction, but nope. So yeah, the big thing is that you just use her as another tuner. Really, you use her with the other stuff, or you use her as like link fodder for YgoAmino, or even better yet, off YgoAmino effect, you summon out Lygelsoft, Alvis, and Vanitas. So then you got 3 level 4s, and then you use Vanitas' effect, send Valkyrie to make her level 2, and then you make Odin with her, Alvis, and Lygelsoft. Then you got 2 Ascendant tuners in your graveyard for Odin's effect, which is really nice. Let's see here. Then we got Mara of the Nordic Alfar. He's the only good Nordic Alfar tuner. As cool as the level 5 is, he's not good, but Mara is really good. The big thing is that Mara, who was actually a TCG exclusive back in the day, if you use him for a synchro summon, you use 2 Nordics in your hand for the synchro summon of an Azir monster, or heck, any monster really. So if you use him for a synchro summon period, you use the monsters in your hand instead, which is really, really cool and pretty helpful too, because if you brick hard or you have him and you have a bunch of non-tuner stuff in your hand, you use 2 Nordics in your hand instead, which is really, really nice. Devig of the Nordic Alfar. I used to not play him at all, and I'm still tempted to just kind of drop him because he's cool, but he's not as good as I thought he would be. But I still really like him for the extra thing. And the big thing is that while Devig is out, you get an extra normal summon of a Nordic monster. So yeah, a big thing is that like you normal summon him, you normal summon one of your other Nordics, and then you link him off for YgoAmino. He has another effect where if he's sent to the graveyard, you add one of your Nordic relics from your grave to your hand. That doesn't come up ever because none of the Nordic relics are good enough to be worth playing, which is a shame because that's literally all their Spawn Trap support. Then finally, I play 2 Necroface to recycle my Banish Zone, and then also occasionally banish off YgoAmino for some extra shenanigans. Okay, moving on for the spells and traps. As I mentioned, Nordic spells and traps suck for the most part. So most of this is to support the Metaphys engine. Ace of Metaphys is a pretty cool card. Once per turn, you can banish 1 Metaphys card in your hand, draw a card, and then it gets a different effect kind of if it's your turn or your opponent's turn. If it's your turn, all non-Metaphys monsters on the field lose 500 attack and defense. And if it's your opponent's turn, all non-Metaphys monsters are switched to, are switched battle positions. So if they're in attack mode, they go to defense, they go to attack mode, which you can actually combo with Tenjostier, which is hilarious because Tenjostier's effect triggers even if he's switched by a card effect. So if you banish a Metaphys during your opponent's turn and you have Tenjostier effect on field and defense position, you can get Tenjostier's effect during your opponent's turn, and I love that. I love those little like, oh, that happens to work well kind of things. Moving on to Gold Sark to banish the Metaphys cards and get some more plays off. One Monster Reborn, one Soul Charge, kind of goes without saying. Then for the traps, we got triple Metaphys Ascension. It has a pretty nifty on-field effect where you pitch a Metaphys monster, or I believe it's any Metaphys card. Yeah, discard one Metaphys card, draw one card, then banish a Metaphys from your deck. Pretty cool, but the main thing is that if it's banished itself, you get to add any of your Metaphys monsters from your deck to your hand. And actually got to double check that. Yeah, one Metaphys card from your deck to your hand actually, which is pretty nifty, pretty handy. I like it. And then two Metaphys Dimensions, which is your main way of just trolling your opponent with the Metaphys effects during your opponent's turn. Where if a Metaphys monster is banished, you can banish one card your opponent controls once per turn. And then if your opponent special summons a monster, you can summon a Metaphys from your graveyard or banish zone once per turn. Really cool effects overall, good card. You'll notice that I also do not play the Nordic search card, the Nordic trap card, Glepnir, Fetters, Fenrir. As nice as that card was back in the day, and as cool as it is, has a nice little interactions with Tenjostier and Tangrisnir. The idea behind it being a trap card to search out your Nordics is that whenever your opponent attacks the white goat, you activate it, search the black goat, and then you get your effects off to spell summon a bunch. But however, nowadays you want to try to get to stuff as soon as possible, and that means you don't want to wait till your opponent's turn to get your search on. So yeah, it's not as handy as it used to be. Moving on to the extra deck. We got two YgoAmino of the Nordic Ascendant. So I already explained what her effect is. She's stupid good. I don't need to explain any more of her. Really good card. Moving on, we got two Thor, Lord of the Aesir. He needs a Nordic Beast plus two monsters, two non-tuners to go into. He's the level 10. All the Nordic Aesirs are, at least all the ones that we have out. Once per turn, you can negate your opponent's monster's effects until the end of the turn. If he dies, you banish the Nordic Beast during the end phase, special summon him, and burn your opponent for 800. I really wish his negate all your opponent's monster's effects till the end of the turn was a quick effect, but that also applies to Odin. Odin is a really sweet boss monster. He needs a Nordic Ascendant plus two tuners. He needs a Nordic Ascendant tuner plus two non-tuner monsters whose levels equal 10 total. He's a 4K beater, 3,500 defense, and then once per turn you can make him immune to all spells and trap effects until the end of the turn. If he dies during the end phase, you can banish a Nordic Ascendant to spell summon him and then draw one card. A really good card overall, just handy with that as well. For the synchros I play one Beals. Vanidus is a dark tuner, so it's pretty easy to summon Beals in the deck. One Ascension Sky Dragon. I've always wanted to play this card. I love his artwork. I love the lore from the 5Ds manga with him. He's such a cool card, and now that we finally have him available to the masses and not having to chug out like $1,000 for him, I wanted to play him as a one-of. You only really summon him with Mara every once in a while. He doesn't actually come out too often, but he is a really cool card just to say, hey, I summoned him. One Loki, again, the other dude you don't really summon too often. Loki's cool, but he's not really all that great. It's really sad that he and Shien do the exact same thing, but Loki, who is harder to summon than Shien, can only do his spell and trap effect negation during your battle phase. Then if he's if he's in your graveyard, you banish a Nordic Alfar, special summon him, and then add a trap from your grave to your hand. The whole idea with the Nordic Alfars is that they were all tricky, trap-based kind of thing. Yeah, again, not really too relevant. Moving on to the XCs, one number 24 Galaxy Tomahawk to do shenanigans with the Metaphys side, alongside one number 38 Hope Harbinger, Titanic Galaxy, again because of the Metaphys side of things. One Link Kribo just in case, one Nightmare Cerberus just in case, one Nightmare Phoenix just in case, one Nightmare Unicorn. You know, the whole Nightmare package basically. So yeah, that kind of goes without saying. So that is Nordic Metaphys. I really love Nordics. I want to be able to say that I could take this deck to a regional or heck even just my locals and have fun with the archetype as a fun little, you know, like semi-competitive deck in general. But however, unfortunately, the deck isn't even semi-competitive anymore. You know, I used to play this deck all the time. I used to play Nordics. It was my really main deck that I'd play at locals and everything, all the way up until Duelist Alliance came out. And then once Duelist Alliance came out, the game had a shift in it where it just got so fast that the deck couldn't keep up, which is funny because I know that Nordic Yangzing topped the regional shortly after that, but I didn't have the money for the Yangzing side of things to be able to build that deck. So that was the end of Nordics for me for a long time, and then it got rejuvenated with the Link 1. I'm hoping that this isn't the end of support for Nordics. Hopefully Konami sees that there's a demand for it, and hopefully we get to see more in the future, but it's all just a waiting game at the moment. What are you guys' thoughts and opinions on this deck? What do you guys think the deck needs? I hope to do an archetype overhaul for Nordics eventually. I'm going to get around to it hopefully soon. Thank you all for watching. Have a great day. If it's your birthday, happy birthday. See you all later. Peace out and goodbye.